Hey guys, it's John and Ashley Fischer.
Ahoy.
And we also have Jackson and Annalie, who you might hear in the background because we are on our adventure home from One Team One Mission Family Weekend in Arkansas. And we also have a special guest, Miss Denise, is on the line to share her story with us. Denise, if you want to hit *6 to unmute yourself, we should be able to hear you.
Hello, Ashley. It's Denise. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, I can.
All right. Hello, everyone.
How are you? Thank you so much for getting on the call with us. We're super excited to hear your story.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to share and am honored to just kind of tell everybody a little bit more and hopefully on this holiday weekend inspire a little bit, I think it's, first things first, it's awesome that you're plugged in on a holiday weekend. That says a lot about whoever's listening to the call right now, that you took some time out of your life to plug into your business.
Exactly. I know, that it can get busy, and, the great thing about our business is we can work it anywhere, anytime, and I'm actually going to work it from the hallway of my hotel because my 2-year-old doesn't know what Be Quiet is. I'm like, she's probably getting a little distracting. We'll come out here. Normally they're in bed, but, traveling, it doesn't really affect them anymore. So awesome. Well, thank you so much for dedicating a little bit of your holiday weekend with us. Why don't we get started by just kind of learning a little bit about you, how you got started and how long you've been in, and kind of the basics of the biz.
Okay, that sounds great. Well, hello, everyone. My name is Denise Daicy. I am from Olathe, Kansas, which is a suburb of Kansas City proper. Grown up here my whole life, lived here my whole life. I love being in Kansas City. I just love it. But I am married, and we have 3 growing children, 9, 13, and then my oldest will be 19 this summer. He just graduated high school this year. So that keeps us very, very active. And so that's kind of a little bit about my personal. It Works. So It Works came into my life in March of 2013. So I just celebrated my 2 years. And I'm a triple diamond. I forgot to mention that. I'm a triple diamond with It Works. And so it came into my life in March of 2013, and I was not looking for anything like this, probably like many of you listening. It just wasn't even on your radar. I actually first heard about this crazy wrap thing from Facebook posting, like so many of us did, and it was a good friend of mine. My sponsor is Hong Forest, soon to be presidential out of Reno, and I saw her post it on Facebook, and I watched for maybe 12, probably, I guess it would have been 2.5 months. And I watched her post, and I kept seeing all these belly pictures, and I was like, no way. No way. No, it can't. No, that's not possible, right? That's what we see when we see all these belly pictures, because we're taught to believe that nothing works, because everything you've tried in life doesn't work. And I kept watching, and I kept watching, and I kept watching. And the one thing I knew about Hong is we had been longtime friends, and I knew that she had integrity, and I knew that there was no way on earth she was going to jump on some bandwagon and peddle some silly little product that didn't work. So that probably brought my guard down some. And I don't know about you guys, but I gain winter weight every single year. I live in my hoodies and my sweats and get comfy, and I put on weight, and I always have to take it off every spring and summer because I want to feel better about myself, running around with my kids in my shorts and by the pool. So this particular year, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to give these wraps a try instead. So I messaged Hong and said, all right, I want to try these wraps. She educated me on how they worked. And here's the really big key. When I was ready to order, she said, great, do you want to start as a loyal customer or as a distributor? If that is one thing I can teach anybody to take away from my story, that is the one thing. Ask the question. So she asked me, would you like to become a loyal customer or a distributor? And I said, what's the difference? And she said, well, as a loyal customer, you can use the product at a discount. As a distributor, you can use the product, make some extra money, and earn some free product. And I said, whoa, wait, whoa, what? Did you say free product? All I really cared about was the free product, you guys. I honestly could care, at the time, I could have cared less about extra money. I know that sounds insane now. Like, seriously, who doesn't want extra money to buy a cute purse or a pair of shoes or, you know, to pay for sports for your kids, whatever it is, but I didn't. We were comfortable. We were living within our means. We were pushing it to the edge of our means, but we were comfortable, and I didn't want another job. So rewind just a little bit. So prior to It Works, I had my own business that I worked from home. My oldest is special needs, and so he will never live independently. He will always require supportive care and one-on-one care. And so my whole life with him, I'd never actually been able to have a corporate job because there was no programs for him when he was younger. And so I've always had to stay home and find a way to work to support the family from home. And so in 2003, I created a company and a business that I ran and I managed and I marketed, and I was all in for it every single day and did from my home. And I was a slave to that business. I thought I loved it, but I was a slave to it. And if something needed to be done, it had to get done, and it had to get done now. And I missed numerous kids events and sporting events because somebody needed it done now. But I loved that business. But I did not need to be in charge of anything else. I don't know if anybody else out there listening feels that way, but that's how I felt. I did not need to be in charge of anything else. So she gave me the options, and I said, did you say free product? And she said yes. And I said, okay, now how do you get that free product? And she said, well, if you have a couple of friends, just 4 friends that you think would want to use these products too, then you can earn up to 2 boxes of wraps for free. And that's when, like, the light bulb went off, and it's like, ding, 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 ding. I want 2 boxes of free wraps. Heck yes, I do. I'm going to love these wraps. I trust her. I know I'm going to use them. Why not get some for free? I also knew that as soon as I got results, I immediately thought of a couple people in my world that would be like, how do I get them? What are you doing? You look great. I got to get my hands on that. I knew there was going to be people. And the selfish side of me did not want me to send them to her to make money when I was like, I can earn free product if I just sign them up instead of her. And so that's all it was. That's the only reason I started, was to earn the free product. And so I literally said to her on Facebook that night, I said, okay, you just tell me what to do and I'll do it. And she said, start copying and pasting some of my Facebook posts. And I said, okay. I said, but I'm not doing parties. Like, I'm never going to do a party. I've been there. I've done that with another company. I was great at that way back when my oldest was really, really young, but I'm not doing parties. And she said, okay, that's fine. You don't have to do parties. It's fine. And she just let that be. And so I started posting to Facebook, and as many of us have encountered, you start posting and people start asking questions. And my particular situation, I had people asking me if my Facebook got hacked. I had people asking, did they really work? I had them wanting to know how to try it. And I had people that, they're only on my Facebook because we were in the same class in high school. And they were messaging me to get wrapped. And I thought, geez, I don't have time to run around and wrap all these people. I guess I'm going to have one of those stinking parties. So I decided to have a launch party. Hong lives all the way in Reno. I'm here in Kansas, and it was me. And so I was going to have to do it on my own. Lo and behold, literally within weeks of me signing up, a corporate-sponsored One Team, One Mission was coming through Kansas City. And Hong said, you should go to that event. And I'm like, will they teach me how to do a launch party? And she said, yeah, they'll teach you how to do a launch party. Now, I don't think she was completely lying to me. I don't think she knew because she had never been to a One Team, One Mission at that point. But at the same time, I also think she knew what she was doing. She knew what she was getting me into. So I drive 45 minutes away, all the way up north here in Kansas City to a One Team, One Mission event. And I'm like really shocked at the number of It Works people that are in Kansas City. I'm like, what? I've never seen this much green before. Do they live under a rock? This is crazy. I didn't know anyone. I knew my ambassador by her hair. My ambassador is Chantel Lyons, and I knew her by her hair, and I knew who to look for. And so I introduced myself, and then I sat in that room with probably 300 people or so, all by myself in a chair, didn't talk to anybody, just kept to myself. thinking, all right, got my notepad out, how do I do a launch party? And the event started, and Mike was there, and Pam was there, and I didn't know what that meant. It didn't have any sort of relevance to me at the time. And what really happened for me is they did not, in one way, shape, or form, teach me how to do a launch party. What they taught me was how to dream again. And in that chair, and that just gave me goosebumps when I said it, so hopefully that resonated with someone out there. But in that chair, in that moment, I started dreaming again. And we get into life, and we get busy, and we get complacent, and we get comfortable, and we let those little girl and little boy dreams go. And we stop chasing after those things because life happens. You have kids, you get married, you have a house, you have a job, you're busy, you don't need any more. Whatever it is, you just stop dreaming and you stop thinking that certain things are achievable. And I guess that's where we were in life. I come back now and always say we were comfortable. Like I said before, we were living within our means, and we weren't stretching. And so it taught me how to dream again. And I left that event with a whole different perspective about this business. And there were people on that stage that are Ambassador Diamonds now. And they were crossing that stage, and some of them were triples, and several of them were presidentials. And they were saying things like they'd only been in the business 2 years or less. And I'm sitting there going, holy moly, that's a lot of money. And one particular story really just kind of resonated with me and touched me, and I couldn't relate to her on a work level, but for some reason she was so relatable to me, and it just really helped me be like, oh my gosh, if she can do this, if they can do this, I can do this. And so it gave me like a new vision for my business, and so then I started to take it seriously. I actually became Ruby in my first full month, kind of on accident. There was no Ruby bonus on the board. I just did it. And then I was Ruby for a long time. I was Ruby from, I guess it would have been April. I consider May my Ruby month because that's when you start as a Ruby. But so I finished Ruby in April. I was Ruby in May. All the way through, I know it was the fall. I think it was September before I became an Emerald. So I call myself one of those, I call myself more a microwave. I call myself more of a crock pot in the business, not a microwave. There's two kinds of people. There's the microwaves that do it really, really fast and get the job done, and then there's the crock pot. Same job, gets it done, just takes a little bit longer. That's me. I'm the crock pot. I'm not one of those overnight crazy success stories. In fact, Mackenzie Schultz, she enrolled like 2 weeks after me. I remember when she came to the first Kansas City team meeting and sat right in front of me and blew my mind with what she was doing with her business. So I'm a crock pot, and that's okay. I became a diamond in 7 months, and then right about my 1 year mark is when I hit the double diamond. And then that was last year in April, and I earned the $15,000 good bonus at that time. And then it took me a whole year to move off of double diamond and get to triple. So I became a triple this March of 2015. So my 2 year anniversary, basically, I became a triple diamond, earned the $50,000 bonus as a triple diamond, and then we earned the diamond bonus also. So we earned $70,000 in bonuses for our family in the month of March. So that's kind of, I guess, a little bit of my story, like what brought me into It Works and why I'm here. And I can kind of tell you some tips and things I've learned if you want to go there. I wasn't sure if you muted yourself.
Yeah, I did. I'm getting kids dressed to the pool now, and trying to do two things at once, because this is the great thing about business. We can kind of double swing them. So I love your story, and I love it because I would kind of, I always kind of giggle because we're kind of paralleled in the same. The situation started, I think, just a little bit before you. But yeah, I loved the crock pot microwave analogy because we actually did the same thing. We did some triple in March, and we had the opportunity, last summer to go triple and waited. And I have learned a lesson from that there is no better time than now. You do it now. You don't do it next month or tomorrow. You do it now. And I loved how much that event totally changed your business. Because, that's how a lot of us feel. So so obviously events are important to you, and that was probably a little bit of an investment for you to get there, with your son when you're first starting out, brand new in the business, but you got there anyways and made it happen. So do you think events are important, for our business and to get there?
I think events are critical. I really do. And I personally hold weekly, we call them sample nights. Some people call them wrapping Wednesdays. We call them sample nights. I hold weekly wrapping nights sample nights for my team. And those are pretty small. It's just my little team thing, but we're actually in June going to branch out and open that up to the area. Here in Kansas City, we have 6 Ambassador Diamonds, and that is amazing. Some people some people on the outside looking in will think, well, you have 6 Ambassador Diamonds in that town. Like, okay, you can't do anything. Your town's saturated. Heck no. I talk to people all the time that have never heard of this thing. We are blessed to have that kind of leadership in this town, and so every month we have big Kansas City team meetings that we're able to plug into. And what I love about it is everybody has a different idea. I learn something every single time I go. I can take an action step, a tip away from there and go put it to work in my business. I hear an inspiring story or a touching story that inspires me to work harder than before. I always say if you are having a bad day or a bad week, then you need the meeting. If you are having a good day or a good week, then the meeting needs you. So no matter what's going on with you, I don't care if you have 0 guests or 20 guests, you should be there. You should be there to plug in. It is absolutely 100% to me critical to your success. I think that there's very few personality styles that can really, truly excel without plugging in consistently. If you're in an area that you don't have physical functions, then that's why you're on this call tonight. That's why you listen to the corporate calls. That's why you plug into your team pages. I have team all over the country. I have a very large team in the New Orleans area, and they don't have any leadership down there. They're becoming their own leaders, but they don't have functions like this. They would kill to have something like this. I have team in Pennsylvania, same thing. Every time I'm talking about doing functions, they're like, oh my gosh, I wish I could be there. So if you do have the opportunity, something that's within driving distance of you, don't take that for granted. It will change what I call the face of your business. If I wouldn't have gone to that function, I do not believe I would have really grasped the bigger concept. I wouldn't have really realized the potential of the business, and I wouldn't have had that yearning inside of me to dream again. And that's what happens. It changes something inside of you if you allow it. So that is absolutely critical.
Yeah, that's so true, and it's so important. I love what you're talking about you need it or it needs you, because so many people personally, no one showed up at my launch party, and we've had tons of times where it's like, oh, we don't need to have this meeting, nobody's going to come, whatever, but it's so true that you always are blessed by it somehow, or you bless someone.
And I gotta say, I really appreciate what you said about, become your own leader, because that was kind of the situation we started off in too. We were some of the newest people in an area, and that's what we had to do.
Yeah. So let's kind of get into the business and some tips for, things that we as leaders kind of maybe experienced and know. So have you ever, had a time where you felt down or in a funk? And if so, what have you kind of done to pick yourself up from that?
I've had multiple times, as we all, if you've had experience in this business. I always say it's kind of like a roller coaster. You're going to have your peaks and you're going to have your valleys, and you got to push through those valleys to get back to the top again. And depending on how fast and how resilient you can be to get through that valley is going to determine whether you get to the next peak. So you either let that valley hold you down, or you keep pushing and you gain that momentum and you pull yourself up that hill. The most recent example that I can give, which I think it's kind of sometimes hard to talk about, but it's so true. So triple month, that was March of this year. I wish I had the actual calendar in front of me. But it was the weekend before the end of the month. Actually, I think it was the Wednesday before the end of the month. I'm going to look at the calendar because I always talk about this. So this would have been the 25th of March, you guys. We all know the month ends on the 31st. 25th of March, we had been working our tails off, obviously, to get to triple. Like, day and night, hardly sleeping, not eating, like, focused completely on this triple thing. And the house was a mess, and you don't shower, and, you know, all those things. Like, it was just life. And my whole family was on board, invested in it. And we took some time that morning on the 25th and decided we were going to get some laundry done, and we carved out a window, get some laundry done, clean, do some house stuff, and then get right back at it. And for the first time, I think, in 2.5 months, I took some me time instead of being all about the business, and I put my earbuds in, and I listened to my music, and I was folding laundry, and I was cleaning the house, and I literally just started sobbing, just tears running down my face, just bawling. And I couldn't stop crying because all of a sudden in that moment, it's like the fear set in, and I let it take control of me because I didn't think there was any way on earth that we were going to hit triple. And here I had told so many people, and I had been talking about it at my weekly events all month long, and I had told everybody we were going to do it, and I'm letting all these people down, and it wasn't even about me. It was about everybody else, the people that I was going to let down. And we needed 7 more distributors on our diamond leg in order to make that happen. And it's the 25th, and I'm thinking while I'm folding socks, I don't know 7 people that would give me a yes right now. I don't. There's no way. This is not going to happen. There's no way. It can't happen. It can't happen. It can't happen. So I had my pity moment, and that was a Wednesday, and I have my sample nights are on Wednesdays, and so I had to pick myself up, and I had to get to that event, even though I did not want to, and I did not feel peppy, and I'm leading the event, and I had to go. So that is a huge example of why you need events when you're having a bad day, because I needed to be around my team, and I needed to just get to work and take action steps to work my business. So first thing would be plugging in when you think like that. I had my pity party, and I still was maybe unsure for the next day, but I was like, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to eat it. You know, I cried about it. I was really upset. I was brokenhearted. But at the same time, I was like, I'm gonna try to give it my best. That weekend, we enrolled, actually the next 2 days, we enrolled all 7 people that we needed. We were just blessed with them, and they didn't personally come from me. My team, the people that needed to enroll, just all of a sudden went on a tear, and like the next thing I know, I'm getting text messages, oh, I just enrolled a distributor, oh, I just enrolled a distributor, oh, I just enrolled a distributor. And I was just like, we went from needing 7 to needing like 1 in a matter of 48 hours.
That's amazing.
And it was. And I had that breakdown, but I didn't allow it to keep me there. And I think that it's okay to break down sometimes. It's okay to sometimes you just got to let it out. I am a heart-driven leader. I wear my emotion on my sleeve. I'm one of those people that cries at everything. I saw my sponsor put up a picture today of renewing her vows with her husband. I started crying. Like, I'm one of those, like, little things can make me cry, but that was like a significant moment. So I had to get it out of my system, and then I just kind of had to, like, let that fear go and not let it control me anymore and just get back up. I call it, have your own little pity party, but bring yourself right back out of it. Eat some ice cream, whatever you got to do, drink some wine, whatever it may be for you. Go have your party, pity party of 1. But do not allow it to last any longer than a day. And then the next day is a new day, and it's time to start over and get to work. Fear can be very scary, but it's the inaction that's scary. Once you get to action and get to work, it completely takes that fear away. Inactivity is very stressful, but I always say activity is very exhilarating. So, and maybe that's part of why that happened for me, because I had that alone time. So that's like the most recent example is I could have completely let that destroy me. Instead, I just kept kind of going in faith that this is going to happen and this is my vision. I have also very long felt that I was a triple diamond at heart. I just didn't have the title. I would sit in Kansas City events knowing I am a triple diamond. I am. I really am. Inside of me, I am. I have so much to give. I just want to be a triple diamond because there's so much that I can help people with. There's so much that I can teach them and tell them. And so I believed it completely in my soul. I knew that's where I was going. I just didn't know exactly when I would get there. And, of course, you set the goal because the bonus is attached to it, but honestly, it didn't even matter. The bonus was not the point for me. The good bonus had really nothing to do with it. It was the fact that this was my goal, and I knew that that particular rank brought some more responsibilities that I felt that's what I was made for. I was made to be able to help others and teach others and share with them what I've learned. And so I couldn't wait to get there. I remember another time for newbies really early on in my business, similar situation. I remember I was putting my kids in the car, and, I mean, this was early. This was way before I was an Emerald. And I remember it was crazy. I had a runner on my team, and she kept messaging me, and I was trying to go Emerald. And it was towards the end of the month, and my text messaging and my Voxer's going off like crazy, and I'm putting my kids in the car, and they're being kids. You know, they're just being kids. And I remember snapping and yelling at one of them. And I shut that car door, and I was just like, I can't do this. I can't do this. I literally said out loud, I can't do this. This is not for me. I can't do this. I sat down in my car to drive them where we were going, and while I was driving in my car, I got the Voxer from my runner at the time that she got 2 distributors that we were hoping for, and she was enrolling them that night. So I went from a moment of, again, I can't do this, to something happens, action happens, and it completely changed my thinking. And that was, you know, my sign that, no, you're meant to do this. You can do this. You just got to figure out a way to kind of manage those emotions better and not snap at your children.
But that's so amazing because, I mean, God just shows up for you and for so many of us when we need him, whether it's with this opportunity or at times with a distributor or maybe even, just a Voxer that makes us kind of feel like, okay, I'm know what I need to do and that I'm where I need to be, because Satan gets into our mind easy. So have you ever had like a change in your business or maybe in your life that was affecting your business or that could have affected your business?
Yes. I mean, we all go through changes in life, right? I call that circumstances. If your life isn't changing, then you're not living. Life changes every single day, whether it's the dog ran away or you got a flat tire or who knows what. There's always a reason. There's always a circumstance that you can allow to become an excuse to not do something. And I am a huge believer in not allowing your excuses, not allowing things to become excuses. I do not tolerate excuses. I cannot stand them. They infuriate me. Like my children giving me excuses of why they couldn't take the trash out. No, you can take the trash out. Just little things like that. One of my very favorite quotes for a very long time is, an excuse is a lie, only you believe. I'm going to let you guys think about that for a minute. An excuse is a lie, only you believe. Because really what you're doing when you start giving excuses is you're selling yourself on a bigger situation. You're over-exaggerating whatever it is and turning it in an excuse as to possibly why not to do something, instead of just accepting it as your circumstance and overcoming it. And the more excuses that you give yourself, the more that you're going to buy from other people. And I think that's really, really important. So don't allow your circumstances or your life to become excuses. A really huge circumstance for me that became an excuse for me for a significant period of time was my Emerald, who was my cousin, that helped me go double diamond, literally just quit the business. And she was my Emerald leg, and she was really good at this business, really good. And we grew very close doing this, and we talked every day, and she's my cousin, and I still love and adore her. We hardly talk now anymore, and it's unfortunate that she allowed that to get in the way. but that's the circumstance. I allowed that to control me for too long. I allowed that to defeat me for too long. It literally, about the time I was going double, she started waning out. And so it became very challenging for me once I became double to stay double. And I will be honest, I did not maintain my double diamond rank the whole entire time. I did slip backwards, and that was hard on me, but I was bitter about it for too long. I was bitter because my cousin let me down instead of just, this is my circumstance, now what do I have to do? I've got to make a way, find another way. And once I got over that, once I got over maybe the blame game or over the not understanding why, like for a long time I was just like, but why? Like, what can I do to get her back? Like, she's so good at this. Why would she not want this for herself? Why would she not want this for her family? She's 6 away from diamond. Like, listen, I still remember the number. She was 6 away from diamond. I still don't understand why. She has 3 double diamonds in her leg now. I still don't understand why, but I had to move past it and realize that's her journey, not mine, and I'm not going to allow it to define me. And so once I moved past that and really fought to find, I honestly fought to find some runners in her organization. She had strong people there. It just kind of fell apart. And so I fought and I found some, and they are amazing at this business. And I did not allow it to define me, but I probably got sucked into it for too many months. And it definitely changed my business. But once I kind of came out of that on the other side, it was full steam ahead. And there's no looking back now. On the excuses thing, one of the things that I teach my team with your potential distributors is don't allow them to just make excuses. I don't have time. That's an excuse. Everybody has time. You can post to Facebook for 10 minutes a day. You can copy and paste. Pretty sure you can do this business. We just have to show them what that means. I don't have the money. Okay, well, if you don't have the money, then honestly that's why you need the money, right? That's why you need this business. I want to help you get there. So don't allow your potentials to make those surface excuses. Always have a response. Always have a way to overcome, to show them that this is a solution to their circumstance, that their excuse doesn't have to prevent them from doing something they want to do. You have a solution to help them overcome whatever circumstance that they're giving you.
I love that, and that's so true. I mean, and especially with the money thing, it's so funny because we're always like, that's why you need to do this then. So speaking of potentials, I actually got a text while we were talking, and I don't know if it was a question for me or a question for you, but I was like, well, I'm going to ask you. What is your biggest tip for sealing the deal? Because we have a lot of people, you know, especially with the Ruby bonus, we've got a ton of new distributors who are running for those Ruby bonuses or with the BOGO kits, but, you know, they haven't had the time to kind of learn how to seal the deal, or they're afraid to seal a deal. So what's your biggest piece of advice for sealing the deal?
Okay. So I've got a couple of things on that. I'll talk about kind of what we do on my team, but the biggest piece of advice for sealing a deal, number one, passion and excitement is the first step to achievement. Enthusiasm is contagious, and it will make the impossible possible. I say that a lot too. Have passion for what you're offering. But even if you started yesterday, have passion for what you're offering. You started this for a reason. You're excited for a reason. You may be nervous. You may be a little scared, but you're excited. You saw the potential in it. Now go find someone else that you want to work with. I personally challenge my team, everybody, to at least find one distributor in what I call round 3 of BOGO. We're calling it BOGO kits on our team. And I called this round 3 because this is our 3rd time around. This time, everybody just at least find one. You don't have to find 5. You don't have to find 10. You don't have to find 20. Focus on getting just one. Just even if you're brand new, even if you started and ran round 2 and then they extended it, go find one person that this business could help change their life, that loves to work out, that whatever reason that you think they'd be great for this business. Give them a sincere compliment. This might sound crazy, but you should sell these wraps with me, and I think you'd be great at it because. Would you be open to me sending you some more information? And then send them more information. I've been using the amazing 99 to 1750 video, and I'm sending them that information. And I asked them, I said, do me a favor, watch this video and then give me your opinion. I don't just say watch the video. I have to ask a question. So I say, give me your opinion. You know what? People love to give opinions, right? Everyone has an opinion, and they always want to give it. So you ask them for their opinion, and then when they give their opinion, they're typically going to give you what I call their surface objection. And that's kind of what I just talked to you about in the excuses. Always, always, always have an answer. If someone says to you, I don't have the time, don't just be like, okay, check with you later. Would you really say that? If you would, then we got to fix something there. Because we know that people, if you want that person on your team, you need to show them the solution to how they can get there. You need to overcome that objection. You need to always have something to say. On my team, if you do not know what to say, you message your sponsor, you message your diamond, you message me. I get screenshots all the time of conversations from my team, and I will tell them, okay, say this. I know last night, one of my brand new girls, she did a three-way chat with me on Facebook. This is what we do on my team, so I'm not sure if you're open to this, but this is what we do. She did a three-way chat with me on Facebook because she's my personally enrolled brand new distributor, and she was asking some questions actually about this particular individual, and I turned the conversation into, have you ever thought of being a distributor? And that girl is going to enroll tomorrow as a distributor on my brand new gals team because I was able to kind of get into that conversation and shake it up a little. Ask questions more than talk to people. You always hear in it works, like don't just go word vomit everything out there. Ask questions. Why do they want to do this? How could this change their life? You know, present the 99 to 1750 video that I really love to them and ask them, you know, with that kind of money, could that change your life? Could you post to Facebook every day? Do you think you could post to Facebook every day? Most people are going to say yes. Okay, do you think you could give me an hour of your time to do a launch party in the next 2 weeks, whether that's on Facebook or in person? That's what I'll initially kind of ask people to qualify them. If they're not willing to commit to posting to Facebook every day or commit to doing a launch party, then maybe this business isn't for them. Maybe they're better off being a loyal customer. Because the truth of the matter is, if they're not willing to put in a little bit of effort, it's not going to help you that much to drag them onto your team because you're going to drag them along the entire time, and it's going to just frustrate both you and it's going to frustrate her. But always have something to say. Time, I talk about posting to Facebook. Money, I talk about this BOGO kit offer is expiring. I'd hate for you to miss that. It's like turning a $100 bill into a $200 bill at the bank. Do you trust me to help you? Is there any way you can come up with the $99? Is there anybody in your world that could loan me that money, give you an early birthday gift? I start those ways, and then if that really doesn't work, I talk about pre-selling the wraps. So I give them a deadline. I tell them, okay, great. I'll tell you what. How about, do you think there's 5 people that you could get to pre-order a wrap from you in the next 24 hours? And I'll give them a post to put up on Facebook. I give them the wording to put up on Facebook. I have them tag me, and then they go to town and they pre-sell those wraps. And the key to that has never worked for my team in the past. It's only started working now because we're giving them a 24-hour deadline. We're telling them you've got to pre-sell those 5 and collect the money in the next day. And if they don't, guess what? I potentially have 2 to 3 to 4 new leads because I'm on that. I've been tagged in their post. And so if they don't either come up with the money or decide to make a decision to become a distributor, then I have new leads that I can connect with, and maybe one of them will be my loyal customer or my distributor. So for the money, we're doing the pre-sell. I don't know if I'd be good at this, or I don't know anybody. We're getting that one a lot. That's a really common one. I don't know anybody. I always ask them, okay, I bet you that the one I like to use is if I go to your Facebook feed right now, if I picked up your phone and looked at your Facebook feed, I would find 4 people on there today that were talking about going to the gym, losing weight. Maybe they were overstressed. Maybe they're tired and they need more energy. Maybe they're a new mom. I'm going to find 4 people in your Facebook feed. That's all it takes, 4 customers. and I'm probably going to find 3 people that are talking about wanting to stay home with their kids this summer, that need extra money, that hate their jobs. I'm probably going to find 3 people that just talked about that today too in your Facebook feed. And almost every time when I say that, people are like, oh, she's right. So I kind of make it very logical. I think I just try to help them like see through their fear, because usually that first objection you're going to get back, it's just fear speaking, and they're just giving you what I call their first surface answer. And if you can push through that and help them overcome that, you might just find a rock star. And a lot of times when I'm able to push through and really help someone kind of overcome their concerns, they end up becoming a very consistent and solid distributor on our team.
I absolutely love those tips. Those are, awesome. And I love the 24-hour deadline. We don't do that, but I do love the 24-hour deadline. I think that that's a good idea. Because then, if you want it, you'll make it happen. So I guess to kind of close up the call, would you share one, tip, piece of advice, experience that you've gone through that you want people to know about and be prepared for, whatever you want?
I think one of the things that I didn't talk about that I haven't talked about it in a while, or I haven't said it in a while, but I used to have to talk about it a lot. But I guess one of the things I would tell everyone is stop letting your business live or die on any 1 or 2 people. And what I mean by that is, how many of you out there listening, when BOGO Kit came up, you knew that Susie, she was going to enroll on your team. You've been talking to her for 2 months, and she's so interested, and you just knew now's the time. She's going to do it. She's going to jump on for this kit. And you message her, and it's crickets. Or how many of you did message someone, and they're like, yeah, I want to do it, and now you're trying to follow up, and it's crickets. Like, they're completely avoiding you. Like, they went into witness protection program, and they're not even reading your message. Has anybody ever had that happen? Because I'm having that happen. It happens to us, too. So stop letting your business live or die on any 1 or 2 people. It is absolutely a numbers game. At the same time, it's a relationship business. So although you have to message a lot of people, you've also got to try to build a relationship with the people that you're messaging at the same time. If you are constantly rotating through a list of 5 people or 3 people or even 10 people, I dare say, if you're constantly rotating through this little bitty pocket of people, you are giving those people way too much power and credit over your success. And if you could really, just hear me on that. You are giving those people way too much power and credit over your success. Do not let one person's no get you down so far that you can't get yourself back out of it and continue on and find your blessing. Some will, some won't. So what? Keep going. And I guess that's the one thing, is there is an absolute untapped market of people out there for you and for your business, and they need this product, and they need this opportunity, and they want to be on your team. There are people out there that will enroll with you because you're you, and they would not enroll with me because they don't connect to me in that way. They don't relate to me in that way. There are people out there that will enroll with you just because you're you. So stop focusing on these small groups and start expanding your thinking. Make your list bigger. I personally, when BOGO came out that very first day, I got on it with my team and start working your hundreds list and make a list of people to message. And with my diamonds and above, I challenged them all to message at least 25 people that day. 25 people that they actually know, not just random names on Facebook, don't just pick a name out of the phone book and say, send them a message, but people maybe that they somehow know, somehow have had interaction with in their life or on their Facebook or something. 25 people. I did the same thing. I did obviously more than 25 because if I'm going to challenge my people to do it, then I've got to live up to it. But I took this to my event this last week and wanted to show everyone. Out of the 25 that I initially messaged, It was almost 30, actually. I messaged that first day. I messaged 30 people. Out of those, here's what I want everybody to see and why you don't want to do this, why you got to do bigger. The first one ended up becoming a distributor. The fourth one became a distributor. Number 20 became a distributor, and so did number 23. The reason I tell you that is if I would have stopped at 10, I probably would have missed 2 distributors. If I would have stopped at 5, I certainly would have missed. I got lucky and got 2 in my first 5. But you never know, like, when they're going to pan out. From message 4 to 20, nothing. In fact, most of the people, I'm looking at this list right now, most of the people from 4 to 20 have either not acknowledged my message or not read it. Crickets. And a lot of those people I know, like I personally know them in my life. Like I actually physically see them, and they're not even acknowledging my message. So I don't let that get me down. I don't ever give any one name on a piece of paper too much power because this is my dream. I'm changing my family's life. We're dreaming again. We're allowing ourselves to dream big again. And I'm the only one that has the power to do that, and I'm not going to let anyone take that power away from me.
I absolutely love that. That is such, huge moving realization and encouragement, and I love that you're saying, don't give everybody power over your business because it's your dream and it's not for everybody. So I think that is great. I've already been getting a lot of excited and kind of, one of my girls actually said that you were breathing life into them. And that's, I know, and that's one of, that's a huge on our team because it's like, you're speaking right to my heart. But it's great being about this business is, we have so many amazing leaders and so many great stories and so many awesome tips. And you definitely have kind of given me some insight and some things that I'm going to use. And I know that you've helped a lot of people realize that, you can refuse to sink and just keep swimming. And sometimes you're, going to swim really hard, and sometimes you're going to, swim really hard and not make it across the beach yet. But thank you so much for giving us a little bit of your Memorial Day weekend. And I'm going to go downstairs to the pool and listen to the family call. So everybody who is on, don't forget that there is a corporate call, in about 13 minutes that we want you to plug into. And Denise, thank you so much for spending a little bit of your Sunday evening with us, and I really appreciate your story and your tips.
Yes, thank you so much, Ashley. It was a pleasure, and I hope if it just helped one person, that's all. That's what I do. I have a passion to help people. So find what that passion is for you in your business, and go after your dreams.
I love it. Well, thank you so much, and we'll get the recording up tomorrow because we're mobile, and unfortunately, you got to put this one on YouTube. It's a neat call line that says your name, but then the transferring is not so easy. So I'll send you this link tomorrow.
Perfect.
When we get back home. And everybody go out, have a great and safe Memorial Day weekend. Don't forget the men and women who died to make it possible for us to have this business and this call.
This is thanks to my bottom.
It was your leg. And don't forget the corporate family call. Everybody have a great night, and we love everyone who's listening. And thank you so much again, Denise. And we'll talk to you all soon.
All right, thank you. Have a good night, everybody.